getting dicey.
Can you guys hear me okay?
And there's a goblin again. Why is this doing this? I don't know why it's
Maybe
doing
your true
that.
spirit is that of a goblin.
Yeah.
I've broken something somewhere, that's for sure. I don't know. I need to probably test something, because otherwise every time we come back from any cool fancy thing, it's just... see, there we go. Why is it doing that? I will fix that super quickly, because I can. And it's fixed, so I won't do that next time. Okay, well let's not mess around. Let's head back to where we were last time. Here we go.
Oh shit, I better open that.
From that computer on.
That's right. Let me paint a words picture for you. You guys have just revived revived Baron, the Baron, and you've also revived Sildar. And he's just given you some information about what's been happening leading up to you guys finding him. He's not fully recovered, and you guys, it's probably, I think you've been in here long enough that it's maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. So heading outside is gonna be pretty dark outside. What exactly would you guys like to do to begin with?
I wonder if we should search the bodies to see if they have anything of value.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. There's the majority of the bodies. Majority of the bodies that you've found. We won't go through one by one. That you've killed a lot of different things. I think there's been like 20 something deaths in this cave itself. It seems like the majority of what you might expect, they might be carrying like coins and stuff. No one's really carrying anything. It's all been grabbed up by Clark and had been put in that treasure chest that Dave Loris had quickly sort of run to open. The one thing that you do find is on Yemek's body, and it's a small empty. It's just like an empty snuff box with the words "dreams" just inscribed on it. But that's really all there is. There's a couple of dead wolves lying around. There's a bunch of dead goblins, a dead bugbear, and you've kind of already taken the coins and statue and health potions from the treasure chest. There's still some provisions. There's still some like meats and cheeses lying around. But I really don't want to get into cheese right now, because we all saw where that went last time. Seeing you guys kind of all sort of scavenge around for stuff, Sildar kind of pipes up, and he sort of says, "Well, so I wonder if you've seen my gear anywhere around here. I had like some pretty decent stuff, but I mean, I haven't had really a chance to look around. Have you seen my gear anywhere?"
I haven't seen any gear. Have you seen any gear?
No, I haven't seen anything.
What kind of gear?
I had a pretty cool sword, and a little satchel with my things, like some potions and just adventuring gear. I had a rope. I missed that rope. That was a good rope. They mentioned, look, all I can say is I'd heard that that Clark beast mentioned that Gundren was being taken to a place somewhere else, somewhere called, I think it was a castle, a Cragmore Castle, I think. So if they've taken him, they've probably taken my gear as well. I don't know. I mean, this little crossbow you've given me, metal boy, is be pretty sweet. But I think if Gundren's alive and my gear is still alive, then I think maybe, I don't know, we need to get to this castle, or if you even, I don't know. I mean, I could do it, whether you care or not. I don't know. And he just kind of mumbles to himself.
Of course, we will help you. It is our duty.
Very nice.
What castle were they going to? Castle.
It was a Cragmore castle. Yeah.
Mr. Sildar, you said you were proficient with a blade.
Oh, I just said I had a pretty sweet one. Yeah.
I have a goblin scimitar here that you can use.
And he kind of winces at it. He's like, "I've seen enough of those to last me a lifetime." And he's still kind of covered in scars from his encounter with them. He says to you guys like, "Look, I was meant to meet up with a dear friend of mine, a wizard, by the name of Iano. I just call him Ian, just Ian for short. He made his way to Phandelver. I was a couple of months back, and he was going to sort of set up wizardry stuff and make sure everything was all right. And I was going to catch up with him and sort of hang out and do cool things in the village. But here I am now. But look, I can't pay you, but if you can help me get to Phandelver, I'm sure good old Ian will chuck some coin your way if you can just make sure I get there safe."
But of course, we were already on our way there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sildar, have you been to Phandelver from this location before? Do you know the quickest route? Or the safest, perhaps? I can see you thinking about it. I'm not sure if you're confident of this location. We can always travel south back to the main road where we were. Mr. Gill, Loris, Baron, American, Sildar, what do you guys all think?
Gil is outside the cave.
Ooh, sorry, what was that, John?
Gil is outside the cave. When last we left, I was looking for Clark and his friend's body.
All right, I mean, we can just sort of bounce to that for now. Gil, it's pretty dark out here. It's 2, 3 in the morning. It's probably about 3 in the morning right now. The moonlight is kind of shining, lighting up the water a little bit and the surrounding area just a little. But with your one elven eye, you spot like Clark's body and this goblin body kind of entangled within each other, up on the edge of that little river leading out of the cave.
Clark, my old nemesis. I search his body.
Clark is. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got on Clark here. We'll just see. It looks like he's. All right. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna do a bit of a roll here just to see exactly what Clark's got on. He does have like a little pouch on him, unlike pretty much anybody else. Let's have a look here. And inside this little pouch, there's 23 gold pieces. He doesn't seem to have anything else on him of note.
That's a lot
I'm
of...
assuming the goblin is a similar situation.
The goblin has no little pouch on him. He's basically. It's clear that there was like a level. Like if you had coins, you had to give them to Clark. Basically, yeah.
What
I
a
see.
society.
Upon recovering that from his body, I'll head back inside the cave with the 23 gold pieces and the fine pouch they came in.
Okay, perfect. You take those. So you're gonna head back into the cave, or?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. So what would you guys like to do? You've searched the cave. There's nothing else of note in here. It's dark outside.
Addressing the party, I just want to let you all know I found Clark's body. There was not much to be said of him. There were a handful of gold coins, which I'm happy to distribute. But it's quite late out there. I seem to have lost track of time. It's kind of the middle of the night. I suggest perhaps we should rest up here for the remainder. Maybe eat some meat and some cheese, and then head out come first light.
Good man, Mr. Gill. I agree that room with the cheese and meats is probably the most defensible position. I'm happy to do that.
It also has the most cheese in it.
Roll for cheese.
Oh no, not again! Also, hey chaps, Thunderstick. What a great name for a great follower. Thank you. You're awesome for giving us a follow. Yeah, I'm assuming it was the callback to the cheese yet again. I'm getting a little tired of it. Just a little. I wish I'd never mentioned it. The damn cheese. All right.
Cheese is much like a zoo, remember?
A lot less.
I'm going to make sure I
GM's
never
regretting
mention
cheese.
anything like a zoo. Don't worry.
That's
I've learnt John's lesson there.
I'm just contemplating death after what happened to me.
My goodness. I am as well.
It wasn't so bad.
As I sleep tonight, I will surely be seeing goblin heads cleaved constantly and over and over in front of my eyes.
Cool. Sort of Sildar sort of makes his way. Let's move Sildar. I didn't update his token. I should have updated his token, but Sildar makes his way into the cavern and kind of uses some of the provisions to make him a real basic makeshift bed and lays down for the night.
After Sildar mentioned his stuff being maybe being here, is it okay if I check the room?
Yeah.
If it's been stashed away in a secret place so that the other goblins didn't find a special sword or something like that.
Yeah, but yep, you can have a little look around. Give me a perception check or an investigation check, maybe.
Okay, investigation. Oh. Does a pop-up window now. Okay. Investigation. No, that's wrong. Pretty sure that's wrong. Okay. That roll?
Yep.
Should be +5.
Nice. With a roll of 21, you don't seem to find any of Sildar's gear, but kind of tucked behind in this corner of the room, behind one of the barrels is just like a small kind of like, you notice like a small bunch of pebbles that have kind of mounted up, and you sort of scratch away at them, sort of move them to the side, and there's a little dugout, and inside the dugout is like about 8 gold pieces with a little note scrawled in goblin tongue. So I don't know if any of you guys.
Does anyone speak goblin? I found some gold and some pebbles.
It is not a language worth learning.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Disgusting.
Okay, meatloaf. Well, it's probably a love letter or something to Clark.
Well, I for one would like to investigate this box with the dreams written on it. Is there anything I can learn about that?
Just to save you a roll, it is just an empty snuff box. It smells faintly of tobacco, and there's just the word dreams engraved.
An empty what box?
A snuff box. They're like the little things that people would keep their snuff in, I guess.
Snort it.
Yeah, it would they'd either keep like tobacco, chewing tobacco, or like snuff for like snorting. It's like
I've not come across that term before. That's
it's
disturbing at first pass.
Yeah. But there's sort of no traces of anything left in it. You don't even know if Yemet got his hands on it when it still had something in it. Looks like it might have been emptied for quite some time.
Sad dreams. I'm going to cast comprehend languages as a ritual. So.
Okay, what does that require?
I just have to spend time casting a ritual, and I'm not sure how long that takes. It might be like
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Is it?
All right, we can.
And then I can comprehend languages.
Okay, cool. Is there anything you guys want to do before?
Oh, sorry. It's spoken languages that you hear.
Oh,
Oh, no. And you can also understand any written languages that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read one page of text.
okay. In that case, so do you still have to prepare for 10 minutes? Does anyone want to spend the next 10 minutes doing something, or should we just imagine you guys are all sort of bedding down? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down, surely.
So, as you stare at this thing, you can slowly make the name of Clark written there. And it looks to be just made up of a few words. And it just says, "Not Clark's, mine." And that's it. And that's it.
So worth your time.
Yeah.
Well, it's mine now. Does anyone... I'll distribute the gold evenly as I strive for an egalitarian society.
And I trust you guys to be keeping track of your goal, because that's one thing I'm definitely not going to do.
I am not.
Okay.
How much gold am I able to get off you, girl? Was it 20?
Well, oh no,
I
you did
have-
mention it.
I have 4.6 gold per person.
All right, I'll round that up to 5 for me because I did such good work.
Wow. Okay.
I will take 4. 4 is my favorite
I'll take
number.
4 because that's all I need.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to keep track of it. You guys just take.
I've got my
supposed to
own money well and truly sorted.
I don't really want to play math games.
Then I will take 45 gold.
Okay, cool.
There's 4.6 each. So 4 gold and 6 silvers per person.
I'm just doing 4.
Yeah, I don't remember
I
mentioning.
don't work in the big cash.
I don't remember mentioning any silver in that part.
That's how you break it up.
Oh no.
I'm sure
gold.
somebody can make change.
Yeah.
And then how many coppers per silver? 10?
By the way, what I'm going to do, like, what might be a really good idea is at the end of this session is just converting all of your coins into gold pieces. I think,
Ching, 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 ching.
yeah. It might
Or
just,
maybe it's just, I think we'll lose a lot of subscribers if we just start talking about currency exchange.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were going to say we'd lose subscribers if we didn't count all our gold pieces and coppers.
See, funnily enough,
True,
that's probably
true.
true either way. Either way, there'll be someone who's like, "Yes, this is it. This is the part I've been waiting for."
Maybe you'll lose a player if you.
Can't afford that arrow.
Yeah.
We have more players than we have subscribers. So
So I've got no worries about that. All right, so
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'm going to go to sleep.
Okay. Everyone else?
Ditto.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will take the first watch and then sleep.
Okay. As you all drift off, you dream of basically of personal growth. You each dream about something that's kind of happened within you, and as you wake up, you realize you're stronger and a little more experienced than you were the day before. That also brings us to the start of Act 2.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Thank
you're all level 2. Dun. There we go.
Yay.
Now you guys knew this was coming anyway, but I think we mentioned at the end of last session. So have you guys all thought about or have you sorted out what level 2 means for your characters?
Yep, it was easy.
Okay, good.
It was dead simple. I pressed a button and it did it.
Yeah.
it sounds like you're starting.
We got another follower as well. So thank you, Sharpie Edges, for our currency exchange conversation. I bet that was exactly what got you in. You're awesome. Thank you for the follow. So yeah, let's go through it one by one and just have a talk about what level 2 means for your characters. Yeah. So let's start with you, Dave. What was so easy about leveling up your barbarian?
Well, with the barbarian, basically, when you get to level 2, you get 2 things. It's reckless attack and danger sense.
What's
So I make no choices. I just get them.
Oh yeah, okay. Cool.
So reckless attack is basically I get a choice when I make my first attack. I can decide to go in recklessly, and I gain an advantage on melee attacks using strength during that turn.
Cool.
But then to counter that, attack rolls against me have have advantage until the next turn. So it's kind of like going crazy, like just going swinging, and obviously drop any kind of defense that I may be using.
Mm.
So yeah, it could be useful if I want to go in and split some more goblins in two. So.
Mm.
And danger sense is basically I have an advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that I can see when not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. So I can kind of sense dangerous situations and avoid them, hopefully.
You'll have to remind me of that as we go on. I'll 100% forget that. So just keep track of that.
It's something I'll have to remember to look at if we get into a situation where I'm making a check or a dexterity save of some sort.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah, so pretty simple, really. That was me.
Okay, John. What does this mean for Gil?
So for Gil, I get a number of things. I'll start with my spells. So I elected to change one of my spells. So I had a Detect Magic Ritual, which I swapped for Sleep. A spell which, as it says, can put creatures to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I roll some d8s, and if I do enough sleep damage, they go to sleep. And I also picked up Unearthly Chorus, which I'm sure will be very, very helpful.
Oh, damn. Okay, that looks pretty cool. So, what's that?
So I play a song, and the music fills the air for a 30-foot radius. And until the performance ends, I get advantage on performance checks. And then as a bonus action, I can beguile a single creature I choose, and that creature must make a charisma saving throw. On a failure, the creature becomes friendly to me. The benefits of being friendly are that I make charisma, deception checks, or persuasion checks with advantage.
Damn. That seems pretty powerful. That seems pretty good.
This means we'll get more songs, so I'm all
More.
good with that.
And is that all for Gil at level 2?
No,
Ooh.
it's not,
Wow.
not the end of it. So I also got Song of Rest, which is of benefit to my party. So every time we are short resting now, I can play a wee song, and everybody gets to add a 1d6 health on top of any other health they may regain.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
And the last thing I got was Cutting Words, which I need to just quickly...
Which goes well with your, what was it, mocking...
Just
Rudeness.
vicious mockery. Yeah. Cutting words and vicious mockery. Nice.
So
Yeah, you just got an evil tongue, really.
Yeah.
basically, yes. So Cutting Words, I learn... Oh, wait. Do I get that? Am I lying? Oh, sorry. No, I don't get Cutting Words. It's at level 3. I get Jack of all trades.
Ah,
So
yeah.
at second level, I can add half my proficiency bonus rounded down to any ability check I make that doesn't already include my proficiency bonus.
Nice. All right, that's pretty good. All right, Shannon, how about the Baron? What are we going to see from the Baron coming up?
Well, as a second level wizard, I got to choose what arcane tradition I am. So you get to choose what type of wizard you are. So there's like abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, or transmutation. So like different schools of Hogwarts. So I chose necromancy. So,
Fantastic.
So I'm now a necromancy savant. So if I put a necromancy spell in my book, it takes half as much gold and half as much time to copy it into the book.
Okay.
And I'll also get Grim Harvest. So if once per turn, when you kill one or more creatures with a spell of first level or higher, you regain hit points equal to twice the level's spell level. So if it's a first level spell, you get 2 hit points back.
Mm.
Or 3 times its level if a spell is a necromancy spell. It doesn't work if it's killing constructs or undead. So, I mean, that could be pretty huge. Like if you do a 6th level spell or something, then you would get 18 hit points back. Is that right?
Yeah.
That would be an enormous spell. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anything else for the Baron?
Not really. I didn't get any 2nd level spells or anything. I only still get 1st level spells. But
yeah,
you get more spell slots.
Yeah, nice. How about Sig there, Reese?
Sig has regained some of his fitness from his youth and has gained some hit points, which will come to use, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Was it
ability
two?
to use it was but 2. And also Sig has Action Surge, which allows him to attack again once per rest, which will be sweet.
Yeah, I remember Action Surge from our last campaign. I think it's a good one. That's a real good one. And do you have any new armor to show off? Have you woken up with any new armor?
Oh yes, I did.
Oh,
So I'm not sure if Twitch does a poll, but I'm sort of two minds whether I wear all my armor all the time or I just wear what Sig currently has.
Oh,
which-
I can do a poll. I can totally
Let's
do a poll.
So
Um,
while we're polling, I'll show you the new pieces.
I'm going to say what should Sig wear, and I'll say what
All or nothing.
I'll say what Sig has, and what Reese has. Let's add that in, and we'll start that. I don't know how that shows up. I know nothing. I've literally just put some stuff in there, and let's see how that goes. So let's have a look at the.
What's going on?
What are we doing, Reese?
So I've made myself some sweet shoes
Oh dang!
and
wow.
some greaves.
Dang!
Oh, moly. Last time I saw you wearing shorts.
Yeah,
No
Look
longer.
at that.
that is amazing.
Amazing. And they look really pointy too.
Yeah, they're pointy for knob kicking.
You must show me your secrets. This is amazing.
I
Did
seriously
you
now know.
made it out of foam? Was it?
Yeah, so these are my old shoes from work. And I hot glued armor onto it.
Wow.
I can see why your neighbors are scared of you when you answer the door.
Yeah, totally.
That shit's terrifying.
That is a
So did
full
you just-
set of armor.
You
Yeah,
take a
so I'm-
spray
wow.
paint?
Fully equipped
something?
now.
Do you spray
Yeah.
silver on it? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I painted it all up once it's all glued on.
Amazing.
Someone in the chat is like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" You're looking at a guy that has dedicated like hours of every weekend to make sure that he looks cool on a D&D stream that 12 people watch. That's what you do. That's what's going on. It's amazing.
And the irony being his camera quality is the worst out of all of us.
Yeah.
This makes it more like olden days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to try and do some more kicking to get the screen time on my shoes.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That looks so good.
I'll try and get some high res shots and dump them in Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have that poll. I don't know how I start or stop a poll, but it's in there. You can hit 0. You just put, I think in the chat, you just put 0, I guess. 0 if you want Reese to wear what Sig has, which at the moment is just chainmail. And don't worry, Reese has just chainmail.
Yeah.
Or, in fact, I think it's under what he's wearing. Or
there's chainmail
you
there.
can press 1 into the chat and Reese will wear what Reese has. It won't affect his AC or anything like that, but he'll look awesome while he's there.
Imagine that.
Oh, you do. Oh, there you go. Exclamation vote 1 or exclamation vote 0. That's,
Are you going
I think. I don't know.
to
How it
go to
works.
like an Armageddon or something? Oh, sorry.
Or should I?
You should. You have to show this off in public.
Yeah. Ironically, there's a event at work which I could have worked this for, and I was gearing up for it, like, oh, that's gonna be cool, and then like, oh no, we're just gonna do it online this year. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
Maybe
alright.
if we get even
What was
remotely.
the event?
Um,
What kind of event
we
were you
have a security coding thing, and it's themed for Game of Thrones. It's called Game of Codes. And last year I took my cardboard armor into work. And that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
This year I'm going to take this in.
Yeah, it's
That's
awesome.
probably later in the year.
Just take it for just a random day in the office, I think.
Yeah. Oh, didn't you guys get
Yeah.
the memo? It's dress up like a real day.
Casual Friday.
Yeah.
We're currently at 5 votes. 3 of them have said you should wear what you have, and 2 of them are saying, well, you should wear what Sig has. But we'll keep that going. we'll keep that going. If Gosha, if you can, Gocha, I don't know. If you just remind people randomly throughout, if you see people in there and just remind people. That'd be great. But let's get back to it. You guys have woken up, refreshed. There was a pretty uneventful night. Oh, sorry, Shriek. Sorry, we got totally off track. We got completely off track. Joe,
you're gonna wear that one.
I am
absolutely typical.
I might need to run upstairs and apologize. Joe, what does American have for level 2?
Well, everyone's probably quite a seasoned enough player. Does anyone know what druids can do at higher levels?
Let us know. Tell us all.
Nope.
No.
Oh, well then maybe I don't want to ruin it.
Everyone else has just ruined it. Come on. Do you want to keep it a secret?
Oh, it's fine. I can turn into an animal now.
What?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
I know.
So cool.
Yeah.
I know. And so, yeah, I had heaps of choices to make at level 2. So I was like, oh my God. Because you have to choose between like 2 different druid circles. And within that, there's like 8 within one. But yeah, you can choose basically between favoring spells or favoring just going mental when you were turned into an animal. So I chose the spells one.
Oh.
I was like, I know which one Loris would choose.
Yeah.
There's just Beast one, but I was like, no, I want those spells.
Yeah. That's cool. Was there anything else? I think you got another cantrip as well, didn't you?
I got another cantrip, and I've got another spell slot, and I get a super cool thing that I get a spell slot back when I have a short rest now. So, magic.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
So, is everyone? Firstly, as a DM, I leveled up to level 2, and I just got some new character voices, and I had to study heaps. But yeah, okay, all right. Are we happy to have expended your long rest? You're all waking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Murican, you only need to sleep for 4 hours. Is there anything you wanted to spend the other 4 hours doing?
Probably just meditating with my little jade buddy and thinking about what's going on and trying to get past the trauma of seeing all those hideous goblins getting cleaved in half by a maniac barbarian.
Yeah. Can we just get you to can we just get you to move your thing away from your microphone? Sorry, it's just sort of scratching up against it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Well, you guys will wake up and you're level 2. And you've got all your health back. You've got all your spell slots back.
I have prepared some new spells.
Nice. Do you want to talk about those as well, or what would you like to do?
I'll just let you. I'll cast one now while everyone's sleeping to prepare for the day. So hang on. Just let me amaze you with my new trick that I'm doing here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, got some good berries, which is basically just some magical berries that you can eat and get hit points back.
Now, one of the things about that spell, Joe, is that you do have to. There's verbal things you need to do to create that spell. I need to hear your character. What would your character say?
Oh, my Elvish is a little rusty.
Just say, imagine you've got your universal translator on.
Ascotia, Ascoetia.
Perfect. How many berries did you make?
I have made 10. And I'm feeling so generous towards my comrades that I hand a few out to them. How many would you like?
Well,
Loros, you seem to be in the knack of running into danger headlong. Would you like a few of these? I'll gladly share. They're good berries.
Loris has been quiet at the moment and just like shaking his head, and he says, "I prefer meat, but thank you."
Okay.
Well,
I've come across these these berries before. I'll certainly take one. Thank you very much, Nisa.
All right.
Uh,
Sig?
Yes, please. I'll have the rest. They look,
You may
they
have
look
4.
great.
You may have 4.
Thank you much.
Brian?
yes, please. I'll try a berry. Should I eat it now, or do I
I
save
would
it?
wait until you need it.
All right. Okay. They look like good berries.
They are good berries.
Okay, thank you. Pop it in my pocket. Not
Excellent.
in my wizard pocket.
So that's 4. 1 to 5. We've got 5 left. Have 2. I'll
Good
keep
berry.
There is something at the bottom of that spell that I'm sure American would know, is that they lose their potency if not eaten within 24 hours. But I'm
Yeah.
sure you'd know that.
Of course I know that.
And just so you know, I'm assuming did you have any spell slots left before you went to sleep?
Yeah.
Did you?
I believe the DM said we did regain all of our health when
Yeah,
we leveled up.
yeah,
But is
Yeah,
that
but that was
Okay.
you've woken up with all your
Well,
spell
then-
slots.
I will expend a spell slot.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
But
Which means I have.
Lincoln, you only need to sleep for 4 hours. You need to rest for 4 hours, and we've been sleeping for 8. So surely you could expend a short rest and perhaps
Do it again.
regain that spent spell slot.
Can you get spell slots back from a short rest?
American
American.
can.
I can.
Oh, okay.
Is that allowed?
I want to put that out to the chat actually. Like if we've just can
Does seem.
I'm gonna actually. You know what? I'm gonna rule this one. You need a long rest. It only takes 4 hours of sleep, but she needs to rest for 8 hours. It's 4 hours of sleep and 4 hours of light activity. So there's still that 8 hours. She needs to do the full 8-hour long rest to get back her health and spell slots.
It did make sense in the,
That does, yeah.
when it was
Yeah.
described. I always thought it was just 4, but
Yeah.
All right, that seems fair. I will expend a spell slot.
Okay, we've just had role players host our stream. They've got like 56 viewers. So we just want to say a big hi. You're watching a New Zealand-based D&D stream where we're just basically talking about leveling up and about to head off to Phandelver. So
berries.
welcome. Well, and good berries, yeah. So that's
First
awesome.
the cheese, now the berries.
Yeah.
Berries that did that one.
But let's get back. Let's get back into it. So the 8 hours have passed. You've all woken up, and Mirakin has doled out some good berries. Now these good berries are going to only last 24 hours. So here's hoping you lose some health in the next 24 hours. Yeah. Sildar sort of wakes up and just does little more than a. What would you guys like to do?
The day is young. Let us get on the road. Who's ready?
I agree.
I agree.
Let's make tracks. We need
Agree.
to get to the mines.
am I remembering right? Was there something that it was supposed to be? They mentioned that there was something on the horses, like a map or something
Right.
like that.
So Sildar did mention. Oh, wait a second. Before I carry on with that sentence, Sharpie Edges. What? You're giving us money too? Oh, dude, look at that.
Yes.
You need a button
Like
or something.
literally on the quietest, most tamest moment of every episode we've ever done, and you're like, this is it. These guys need the money.
Get some good berries.
That was the good berries. But
He's
thank
like,
you.
maybe if I give them money, they'll stop talking about coins and berries and cheese and do something.
It's just like shit. Just get on with it. So thank you, Sharpie Edges. That does mean a hell of a lot. Anyway, so Sildar did mention that when he was taken, him and Gundren were carrying a map, and he did ask if you guys saw the map at any point in near his horses in your travels.
But we did not, did we?
Okay? Well, I'll since you guys did see this, I'll let you know because it is something that you saw a few sessions back. You did find an empty map satchel. Like you did find like a map case near the horses that was empty. I believe Loris was the one that discovered that.
Empty map satchel.
Yeah.
I know what they look like.
Yeah.
Actually,
As a noble
Just a
man.
satchel that says map on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And an empty little snuff box that says dreams.
Dreams. Just
No dreams left.
dreams.
Shall we head off then?
Still, back on the road, we came across an empty tube of some kind, which we assumed maybe had a map in it at some point, but there was nothing there. Do you know where we might find that?
Did it have map written on the satchel?
I can't honestly tell you that I read it.
It was probably the map satchel. Look, if it wasn't there, I can only imagine it's been taken with my stuff and with Gundren. Oh, that's bad. I mean, that had Gundren said that had like the directions to this cave, this what I call the Wave Echo Cave. Mine. Yes. So that's a bit shit if that's gone.
Sildar, do you know the way to this castle that you mentioned earlier where your fellow has been taken?
Cragmore, no.
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to find more about it when we enter the city, surely.
Yes, I'm sure that people have heard of it back in Phandelver. From what I heard, it's definitely in the area. I couldn't tell you where.
Very good. Let us go.
All right. So, did you guys? It's about a 3-hour travel to Phandelver. So, what I'll do, I'm just going to move you guys back onto the landing page because I don't have a map for just sort of like random traveling down a road. Is there anywhere specifically you guys wanted to stop off in during these travels, or are you just taking the road?
I believe we should
to
stick
follow
to
the
the
road.
road.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna roll some dice. See what's happening. Okay. It's what I say. 3-hour. Okay. I'm just gonna check one more thing. Okay. As you guys travel down, where's my book? Where's my book? Where's John's book? John, thank you for these books. As you're traveling down, you notice you've been traveling for about an hour and a half. When you kind of notice off on the side of the road just some sort of some noise, maybe 20 meters off the path. It's kind of a weird clattering sound. And Sildar just kind of stops. Oh, this isn't good. What would you like to do?
Sildar, what do you see?
It's not what I see, but what I hear. That noise can be only one thing.
Spit it out, man. What do you hear?
I think it's best we just leave.
We're in the middle of the road, fool. What do you hear?
Listen hard. That clattering can only be bones. And there's only one thing around here that sounds like the clattering of bones.
It sure is determined to be very mysterious, isn't it? Can you please just tell us what it is?
Well, I can't quite see it, but it's probably skeletons. There. Is that better? I'll just tell you what it is.
Yes, that is better.
Instead of like looking around with your perception. Huh?
I look up from my book because I've just been just reading my book as I walk, and you've piqued my interest about skeletons. So I'm looking.
All right, what you can see, sort of off to the right of the track, maybe 20 meters away, is just 4 kind of shambling skeletons, kind of making their way just through the forest. And you can see that they're all sort of just holding short swords at their side and they haven't seen you yet.
Okay, I'm writing this down in my book. 4 shambling skeletons.
Yeah.
Mr. Baron, what do you see ahead? Sig wonders if he can see them too.
4 shambling skeletons.
Yeah.
Now, which day of
That's it. How
Christmas
about
is
that
that?
direction?
Sorry, American, what was that?
Which day of Christmas is the 4 shambling skeletons?
4th day of Christmas.
Ah, of course.
It's obvious.
Would you look at the...
Well, I say we keep far away. They can't be up to anything good.
Mr. Loris,
They're abominations.
Typical of someone who, doesn't know dead people, automatically thinks that they're bad. They could have been kind people before they died.
So, unholy magic.
Mr. Loris, should we go forth and secure the path?
So, are they? Do they? I don't believe they show us any threat. Sig, let them pass.
You've seen friendly skeletons before.
They haven't threatened us. I have no concerns of these things.
Should we go up and ask them if they're going to allow travelers past them on the road? Oh, hey, Mr. Skeleton. I'm a safety man. Look both ways before the cart goes. No.
Silda,
Let's go kill them.
They could. I think it's a good idea.
is loving the
I
sarcasm.
say we continue.
He's sort of-
I say we continue with our journey, and if they threaten us, we cleave them in two. If they don't offer us any threat, we continue.
I say we defer to our resident expert in this case, Baron. What say you?
Well, okay, to be honest, they're probably murderers. But I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I think it's a good idea. If we're going... actually... I'd like to, but just be pragmatic. I think we should probably kill them.
I think
Wise
we should
words
avoid
from
them
the
at all.
expert.
I'm confused.
We've already died almost died so many times in the last day. I really don't think we should be inviting more combat.
Sig, shall we
guys
finish them off? The Baron
Agreed.
seems to see these are dangerous. Danger is not good.
Possibly
I prosecute
dangerous. I
kill.
think,
Even
How
the
about-
possibility of danger is not good.
How about we cautiously approach with everything prepared as we could? And if they venture off deep into the bush out of our reach, we do ignore them. If they stay around the path where we're going to have to return when we finish from Phandelver, we kill them again.
Okay, let's go. I'm
Silda, having heard this, is like, you know what? Like, I just got my ass handed to me by those goblins, and now there's 4 actual, real, skeletons right there, and I'm out. I mean,
Old man, may I suggest you stay
I'm with
behind?
Silda.
You stay behind with the songman and the druid, and allow Sig and myself to deal with this.
So
Unless
I'm
skill, of
sure
course,
we
you
can save you from that cave. We're eminently equipped to deal with this cadre of corpses.
Come, Sig. Let's go introduce ourselves.
Agreed.
okay.
Walkity walk.
Are you
towards the
guys
skeletons.
are you guys approaching with the idea of stealth, or are you trying to hide your?
No, I want to make myself known. I have my axe resting on my shoulder, and I'm walking up towards them side by side with Sig, who I assume is much as prepared as he can be with his shield and stabby thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Agreed.
The skeletons see you, and their clattering just intensifies. They don't have any. They don't. They. I'm just gonna throw.
Clattering, brilliant.
Yeah. Can I throw a skeleton in here? Can I just drag one in? And... All right. I'm just gonna have one to symbolize all 4. But they don't have anything to create sound with, so they're just kind of clattering their jaws and bones and shaking their short swords. And instantly they're ready for a rumble. They don't want to talk. They don't want anything to do with anything other than killing you. So can I get a roll for initiative from everyone, please.
Okay.
So we.
Does anybody know if it's normal to see these skeletons out on the road?
How did you roll a 7.14?
He's got the
I have-
Dex tiebreaker turned on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And look, 0.2 of a percentage separates us, so it was worth it.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. Who have we got? Have we got
I look
anybody?
over at my good friend the Baron and I say, you know, my charms are not much for these skeletons, so I hope you have a plan.
I'm just fascinated by them. I'm just drawing pictures of them, so I don't really have a plan. But it is the sort of thing that I was hoping to see.
Yeah.
I turn to Baron and say, have you ever experienced these before? Do we know what we're facing?
Well, I've read about them in books. So,
How dangerous are they?
well, I'd like to think that they aren't dangerous, but if they were to stab us, I'm sure they'd be dangerous. They do have swords.
What are they wielding, Reagan? What swords have they got?
They've all got sort of short bows on their back, but they're just kind of all walking, clattering their way towards you with their short swords drawn.
Oh, they're coming towards us.
Yeah. Having seen Sig and Loris, they're basically heading towards them.
Cool. They're not getting past Sigarai, so
I
it's
mean,
all good.
it's fair, but they do have a turn before you. But we're going to start with the Baron
Oh, okay.
at the top of the order.
Right. So I'm quite far away, right? How far?
Well, yeah. So these guys are about 25 meters away. We'll turn it into feet. What's that, like 30, 35 feet away? Loris and Sig, you guys probably made yourselves put yourself 10 feet. Well, actually, how many is it? 3 feet per meter? Is that right? So
Something like that.
60 foot away. They are. You guys, Sig and Loris, have made about 15 feet before they noticed you guys. So, Baron, you're still 60 feet away from them. You're about 15 feet away from Sig and Loris.
Okay, that's much closer than I thought. I mean, my theory about them something, but actually having them coming right towards my face is another thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, put your hands up if you're here as friends.
and is that the entirety of your turn?
Oh no, that's just maybe that's a bonus action. Can I do this as a bonus action?
You can, but they won't react until it's their turn.
Okay. Can I sense any sort of evil intent?
They are
gonna
the living, you know, they're living dead. They're coming for you. These guys are not the friendly ones.
Typical that you would say.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I can sense that sort of thing, and it looks like they're going to stab my friends, I will take action and I will do chill touch on them.
Chill touch.
So that is 1d8 plus. Oh my god. I'll just do 1d8 plus 5. Oh no, sorry. D20 plus 5.
Okay.
I think I've probably got a bit more now.
Well, here's hoping. Ooh.
An 8.
An 8. It misses.
Five.
It
Eight.
goes straight past them. You're chilling a small tree next to them, and that tree is cold.
Yeah, I just look confused
Yeah.
and embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's me. That's the end of my turn.
Perhaps he did not want to believe that they were evil.
Yeah. Well, the skeletons pick up their pace, and they make it halfway towards Sig and Loris, closing the distance. There's now 15 feet between Sig,
Closing the distance.
Loris, and the skeletons. One of the skeletons pulls out their short bow and lines up Loris, the bald barbarian standing in front of him.
It is the biggest target, so makes sense.
Yeah. So let's roll to hit for this Skeleboy. It's a 17.
That's a hit.
All right, and that arrow just drives straight into your shoulder, doing 8 piercing damage.
Ow.
Yeah, the other.
I bet you wish that you'd take those good berries now. Pride will be your downfall.
Seeing the effect of that, the second skeleton pulls out one of his short bows and lines up Sig, clattering as he does, and he rolls a 22.
Oh, wow.
That's quite high.
Yeah, doing 5 damage. Doing 5 damage to the arm of Sig.
Dick.
Yeah, the other two just kind of clatter angrily for the rest of their turn. And so we'll move on. Sig, it's your turn.
It's time, Sig.
Sig is enraged the fact that he's been wounded by this fiend, and Sig will charge forward and slash at the closest skeleton with his short sword.
Okay, the closest is the ones with the short sword. So, roll of 16 is indeed a hit. Doing 4 damage. I'm gonna have to make a note of these guys' health, I think. So, doing 4 damage to one of the short sword wielding skeletons.
Take that bony bone man.
And he's just like, as he clatters his bones around. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
That is all.
Okay, next up, we've got Loris. How you doing with the?
Yeah, Loris is good. He's got an arrow stuck in his shoulder, so he's not happy about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, had this arrow hits him in the shoulder and kind of knocks him back a bit, and Loris is just absolutely enraged. So he's going to flick the rage button on and literally just punch the arrow through his shoulder. He's just, rah, boom, punches it out, pulls it out of his back, snaps it, throws it away. And also flicking on his reckless attack, given he's been kind of hit and raged, he's just going to charge at the skeleton that hit him with the arrow.
Okay.
And given it's become a tradition, he's just going to cleave him in two when I hit. Assuming I do, of course.
All right. So running up has put you face to face with the short bow wielding skeleton. He's on the left side of the kind of the crew. You've kind of run slightly past one of the short sword wielding ones. Yeah, so you're on the side of the short sword, in front of the short bow.
That's cool.
Roll to hit.
Okay, so I'm just going to remember what I get with all these extra bits and pieces on.
Yeah.
So I get advantage on my attack because I'm doing my reckless attack. And then the rage will give me +2 to the damage when I finally do some. Where's my axe? There is my axe. So I rolled a 17.
A 17 with 13 points of damage.
13 +2 damage, that's 15.
15 damage. All right. So so you're bringing it down in your typical Loris style?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's become a typical thing, so why not?
Yeah, that axe just comes down cleanly through the skull of the skeleton, and all of the magic that's kind of holding the skeleton together just disappears and falls to a pile of broken and dusty bones.
Awesome.
There are now only 3 skeletons remaining.
So did you say I had the short sword guy stand beside me, yeah?
Yeah, to your right are the 2 short sword wielding guys. One right next to you, one to the side of him. And past
So I'm just going to turn to face the guy to my right after I knock the longsword dude wielding down. So I'm literally facing him with kind of rather a threatening pose of your next.
Perfect. Okay, Mirakin, over to you.
Well, suppose my hand has been forced into combat yet again.
Forced.
I'll show these skelly boys what for. I take out my short bow and take a shot.
Okay, great. If you could roll, I already have. Sweet.
I have rolled 17.
17 does indeed hit. So which one were you aiming for? The short bow or the one of the 2 short swords?
The one with the short bow.
The one with short bow. Okay, so that goes flying through the air and kind of snaps one of the ribs of the skeleton, doing, what was that, 4 damage.
4.
Oh, he's shook. Yeah, he's quaking. No, but he's doing all right still. He still seems to be put together, minus a little bit of rib bone. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Just hunker down in place and get ready to take the next shot.
Okay, cool. Sildar, it's Sildar's turn, and he's just kind of backing off. He doesn't want any of this. He's despite having that crossbow, he's still kind of reliving the torments of those goblins, and he's just worrying about what's going to happen next. And he just kind of backs away and hides in a small shrub on the edge of the path. So now, Gil, your turn.
So there are still 3
Yeah,
undead up.
There's 3. There's 2 with short swords, sort of standing in the front of the 3, and slightly back, 5 foot back from them to the side, is the short bow wielding skeleton.
And one of them has been hit by American.
Yep, the short bow wielding one has been hit.
Okay, in that case, I call out to him and I say, "You with the bow, I have a bone to pick with you."
Wisdom saving throw. All right.
And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw against my vicious mockery.
He rolls a 5, so he is not saved.
Oh,
Yeah. Can you roll the damage, please?
My damage roll is a 3, and he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, he's looking a little rattled after that, and quite agitated, But he's still doing okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do there, Gil?
I'll end my turn there.
Great. Baron, back to you.
okay. Well, this is getting quite intense, so I'm going to walk back with Sildar to his shrub, still facing towards the skeletons. Obviously, bad guys. And I'm going to cast a new spell called Toll the Dead.
Oh.
Bong. Very big bong. The sound of I can cast it within 60 feet, and the sound of a dolorous bell fills the air around it for a moment, and the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take some damage.
All right. Well, these guys
So
aren't the most
it's
wise.
a 13. Wisdom 13.
And so, was it targeting just one, or was there kind of a
Yeah,
range
it's
to
just
that?
one. I'm targeting the one that's taken some damage.
Okay, the short
'cause-
bow. Short bow, Skelly boy. And he rolls a 6. He's really not very wise. He's a dumb skeleton.
Great. So it would normally do 1d8, but seeing as he's already taken damage, it does 1d12. So let's see how much it does. It did a 5.
Okay, cool. So that's done some serious damage. I would say he's bloodied, but he has no blood.
Marrowed.
He's rather marrowed right now. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Just sort of become one with the shrub.
Okay, great.
Classic Brian.
It harks back to like the
Classic
first
Brian,
session.
eh?
That's great.
Hiding, casting spells, just not involved.
Hey, I'm looking after Dilda.
Okay. All right. What's the skeleton's turn? And that poor, broken, psychically damaged and marrowed skeleton lifts up his short bow and kind of is very shaky and just sort of aims it towards the two strong gentlemen in front of him. He's eyeing up Sig once more, but he is
All about
rolling.
myself.
He is rolling with disadvantage, so it might not be too bad. Let's see how it goes. He rolls a 14. And that's
Who's he aiming at?
Yeah, he's aiming at Sig, and it's deflected
No.
perfectly using the shield by the looks of things. Yeah, perfect.
Nice.
And he just kind of hangs his head in shame. That skeleton. He's a little disappointed in himself, as we all are. The two short sword wielding skeletons at the front. Well, the one right next to Loris basically turns to the side, and with that turn, just swipes up his chest with the short sword.
He rolls. If he gets to attack with advantage.
With advantage because you're reckless, right?
Because I'm reckless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't.
that's right.
He didn't need advantage. He rolled a 20,
Nice. Good on him.
doing 7 damage.
7?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's my bloody character sheet? These guys do a bit of damage, eh?
There were 4 undead skeletons. Yeah.
Yeah. I think as a reaction to that, I'll use my stone's endurance,
Cool.
which allows me to roll 1d12 plus 1 to reduce the damage dealt to me by 1d12 plus 1.
Okay, nice. So you might negate this.
So I might negate pretty much everything. So 1d12, it's a total of 10.
All right. So as the sword like slices across you, your skin hardens and it just kind of does nothing. Oh wait. As Godia said, since you're raging, it should have been halved anyway.
Oh, yeah, true. I forgot about that.
So knowing that, it would have been 3 damage. Do you still want to?
Okay.
Do you want to take that 3 damage?
No, I'll
or do
let
you
it go
wanna-
to 3.
Yeah.
It's handy having someone who knows what they're doing. I'll just take the 3.
You'll take the
That's
3.
fine.
Okay, cool. We'll retcon that
Yeah,
that
that's
stone
good.
skin. That's fine.
Sorry.
Um,
Thank you, Scotia.
the second skeleton, I believe, closes the distance between himself and Sig, and that's there we go. All right, and rolls a 10. It's definitely a miss. That is definitely a miss. Sig is just like deflecting everything that's coming in from these skeletons, and that's their turn. Sig, it's over to you.
Sig surveys the battlefield to assess his foes. How many dudes are left?
There's three left. There's 2 holding short swords. One of them is sort of face to face with Loris, a little bit ahead of you. There's a goblin. I wish. No, there was a skeleton face to face with yourself, and sort of back about 15 feet is the broken, dusty old skeleton that looks worse for wear.
Indeed. So Sig stabs into the rib cage of the skeleton in front of him and twists the blade on the way out.
Okay, great. Roll to hit.
For 22 to hit. 7 piercing damage.
That's a lot of. What do you do? What are you rolling there, Shannon?
Clicking buttons and seeing what happens. What language are you now proficient in now?
Your sword enters in and sort of pops off like a few of the ribs and kind of breaks a little bit of that. Breaks a little bit of his balance as well. So he took it, but he's angry. He's really rattling them bones at you. His jaw is clacking away. Yeah. And so, is there anything else you'd like to do?
That's all.
Okay. Loris, over to you. Loris, you are muted.
I've got mine.
Managing like 6 screens at once on a small laptop. Anyway, so having faced said stabby man with bones in front of me, I'm going to from left to right. I'm just going to swing across his head and try and decapitate him with my axe.
Very nice. Give me a roll.
Oh God, I'm not managing myself very well today. Sorry.
Is the cricket on?
No, there is no crit on. It's
lot
a
of dice.
20. Hold on. That was a. Actually, I want to check if my reckless attack lasts longer than I think it lasts. Because if it is, it was a 25. Only my first attack. Either way, it's a 24,
It's a
and
20.
I do 7 damage.
Yeah, great. So that kind of comes down on the side of the skeleton and just knocks off the arm. Not the one holding the short sword, unfortunately, but it does break the arm off onto the ground, and it's kind of like crawling off to a nearby bush. He too is no, not your bush. He too is looking rather marrowed.
Awesome. Brilliant.
Okay.
That is me.
Okay, American.
I have some questions for the DM.
I hope I have answers.
My first question is, are there any trees around in the area?
Yeah,
Sturdy, tall trees.
You're very much still in the forest that you've sort of been traveling along. It's been a very heavily forested area, the majority of this tribal trail.
My second question is, do I get advantage if I have a height advantage on the enemies?
No, do we? I don't know. I don't know if we're playing that, to be
Up
honest.
to you.
We haven't done that. Actually, no, I think we did. I think we did that when you shot down at Clark. So we're going to keep that rule going. So yes, if you can climb up a tree successfully, if you can get some decent height, we'll give you advantage.
Very good. Well, I have no need to climb. American uses a special ability, and you see her wrap herself in a shroud of mist, and she reappears standing on a sturdy bough of a tree high up.
Nice, and it was a bonus. It was a bonus
And
action
that
as
was
well.
just a bonus action, yes.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So I use my beautiful height advantage to get another arrow ready and take a shot. What are the skeletons? Which are we looking at here? We've got 2 left?
You've still got 3 left. You've got 2, one with a short bow looking pretty marrowed. You've got another one face to face with Sig, who's looking all right actually, and the third poor, upset little shaken skeleton at the back with his short bow, looking not very good.
Decisions.
Yeah.
I'm going to aim at one of the short bow ones to take out their ranged attack opportunities.
Okay.
So I take out the shakiest looking of all.
Roll with
So I
advantage.
Roll for my short bow
Perfect.
and get a... Oh, my advantage got me nothing. But I got a 22.
Okay, great. And with that 22, you also got a new follower, Shane05196. Thank you for the follower. I feel like I haven't done enough voices, but yeah, these little shaky, poor little skeletons, obviously.
Do skeletons not talk?
These ones don't. These ones don't.
It was all my Misty Step, obvious.
Yeah, the Misty Step is definitely the reason. Now, your 22 means that arrow just comes straight down into the base, sort of underneath the jaw. You can see the bones, the vertebrae holding the skull on, and it just knocks one straight out. And the head falls, and all the magic holding the skeleton together just kind of loosens and drops. There is now a second pile of bones lying on the ground.
So basically, I got a Jenga.
Jenga, yes.
Jenga!
The night is young. Jenga, anyone? Remember that ad? Yeah.
From the tops of the tree, is there anything else you'd like to do there, American?
Look smug.
And smug you do. Gil, you're up next.
So that is still the 3, including the...
There is 2 left. We've got 2 short sword wielding skeletons. One looking pretty beaten, standing next to Loris, and we've got one that's looking all right, standing in front of Sig.
I see. I turn to the one who looks the best out of the 2 of them and say, "Now, you wouldn't want to be left all alone, would you?" And cast vicious mockery.
Okay, that's cool. Let's do a wisdom check for the skeleton. He rolls a 14, that's
14. With a 14, he succeeds.
He succeeds. He kind of peers over Sig's shoulder at you, and he just shakes a bony fist in your direction. Okay. Anything else, Gil?
No, not right now.
Okay, perfect. Baron, back to you, back at the top.
Okay. I'm going to point at the at any the damaged one that was just attacked? He's damaged, right?
Both of remainers are damaged.
Cool. I'm gonna. Sorry. oh. I just got.
What have you done?
I'm at the farm with everyone else now. Okay. I am going to cast a magic spell. And it's going to be... are they next to each other at all?
Yeah, they're pretty close to each other.
And can I shoot one and they're not right next to someone else?
They're both right next to both. One of them's right next to Loris. One of them is right next to Sig. They are face to face.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to have to use chill touch then. So that's 1d20 plus 5. Ooh. I wonder if this one will hit because I haven't had much luck. Here we go. 1d20 plus 5. Oh, a 19.
Oh, right. That is a successful hit. So which one were you aiming at? The one in front of Sig or the one in front of Loris?
The one that is most marrowed.
That is the one next to Loris.
Okay. Great. And, I might play my little video because it hit. 1d8 or 2 damage.
2 damage is just enough to basically shatter this one. This one, instead of the typical like falling to things, the chill sort of spreads and he goes completely blue and icy before shattering and exploding in every direction except for that of Loris's somehow through magic. Doesn't harm Loris.
All right. Okay. Yep, and I'll resume my my home in the bush.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. We've got one skeleton left, and he's standing directly in front of Sig. He's sort of looking around, seeing the bones of his the fallen, and he kind of got sprayed a little bit by cold bone dust as well. And unlike the goblins, he's not afraid. This just strengthens his resolve, and he sort of raises his short sword above his head and tries to come down in the opening of any sort of neck opening that he might see on poor Sig. And he rolls a 14, which glances straight off the shield of Sig. And it is Sig's turn.
So Sig is infuriated by this vile attack and hacks at the left arm of the skeleton in front of him.
Cool.
And rolls a critical hit of a 24.
Do you want to describe that crit?
So as Sig swings, he puts extra muscly force into it and hacks into the bones of the left arm and then rips through the rib cage as he tears his blade free.
Okay, right. And that skeleton just like explodes in the same direction that your sword swings through him. Bones and dust and grit everywhere. You have successfully defeated the four skeletons that were merely walking past.
We're the baddies.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet the necromancer that managed to summon these creatures.
Well, yeah, you never know who's.
Mr.
around.
Baron. We should kill him too.
I agree.
If he's not dead already.
All right, so what would you guys like to do? Oh, sorry, ignore that. Ignore that roll. Sorry.
Baron, is this an ill portent? Is there some powerful mage wandering near here? Is that who might have animated these corpses?
Well, from what I know, I think, there's someone quite powerful that's made these skeletons. I can't make skeletons.
May I just interject for a bit? I know my good friend Ian. He's in Phandelver from what I am aware, and he's quite a powerful wizard. But surely no. No, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have come to the dark side of wizardry.
Always gets a bad name, doesn't it, necromancy? Sometimes they're just trying to help people.
I've never met a necromancer that wanted to help people. I'm very suspicious of the very idea.
Hello.
The jury's still out on you, Brian.
Fair enough.
Mr. Bush.
Many turn to the magics for their own reasons.
Baron
A lot of people
Byron
have lost
Bushman.
ones they love, so it seems only natural that they would want to bring them back. American.
Trust me, no good ever comes of things that you speak of.
Maybe they're just protecting this area. Maybe it's a farm that maybe a farmer wants to protect their crops from goblins. I think possible.
Shall we explore this notion or continue on to Phandelver?
Phandelver, please.
Agreed.
Phandelver, please.
Agreed. Mr. Loris, what say you?
Let's walk to Phandelver. That's why we came.
Okay.
Now, how are you? You seem to take quite a few blows there.
It's a few scratches. I think you probably see there's a few more than just a few scratches, but I'm not. Loris is not going to admit to being wounded. He has since calmed from his rage and is sort of still kind of unaware of any damage that he's taken.
I see.
Sig is going to consume some of the berries that American gave him only because he's hungry.
I've actually, I've got a little berry tally over here. So how many do you eat? You have 4.
Damn good, American.
Oh,
My
thank you.
tongue feels so happy.
Fabulous. How many did you eat?
Sig ate all 4 that he had.
Thus regaining 4 hit points.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like them. It's nice that someone appreciates me.
You both should try these.
All right. So if you guys are keen, we can head off to Phandelver.
That would be a good idea.
All right. Let's bring up Phandelver. Considering this is what Act 2 is all about.
Is it though?
Well, it kind of is.
It's always about how we get there.
Hey,
that's part of the fun.
Hey, let's all guess how much of what I prepared has been actually touched on yet.
Oh, let me see the first 3 minutes of your.
None of it. Literally zero of what I prepared.
Can I just interject and say you did introduce the skeleton?
I did.
That was your choice. That was your choice.
That was a good choice.
Yeah.
It was a good choice, but it was your choice.
It was. They didn't have voices because I didn't know they were coming. So that was kind of something. It was kind of fun.
I'll be honest. The
relatives
wanting to engage them, there was a non-zero part of me that wanted to hear that. That surely would have been involved.
Yeah.
You know, I do have an idea that you could have had a xylophone on hand.
Oh, that would have been. I mean, that would have been amazing. I'm not gonna lie. That would have been great.
I thought you were prepared.
I think I have a xylophone here. Maybe I should learn how to play it for next time.
Yeah. Man, I just realized that I'm like totally not ready for this. But okay. Despite all of that, I'm just kind of like, wait a minute, where am I now? Okay. I'm not going to use your tokens here because it's kind of just an overarching map of the town. We're going to use word pictures, beautiful word pictures. Ooh. So you guys are coming in from the north, the Tribal Trail. Okay, so the track that you've been following sort of emerges from the wooded hillside, and you can catch your first glimpse of the township of Phandelver. You can see that the town consists of like 40 or so simple little log buildings, some built on old foundations, like stone foundations. There are sort of more old ruins, crumbling stone walls covered in ivy, and they sort of surround the newer houses and shops, showing how it must have been such a much larger town in the centuries past. As you may have remembered, Sildar sort of informed you about what went on here maybe a century ago in regards to it being taken over. Most of the newer buildings are set on the sides of the track, which sort of widens into a main muddy street of sorts as it climbs towards ruined manor house on a hillside at the east of town. I'm just going to move the map over here. You can see that little manor, the Trazenda Manor. You guys get the names of everything, so it makes it easier for when you guys are like, let's go to that place. Then I can be like, I know what it is.
That's so friendly.
Yeah. As you sort of approach the town, you see children playing in the town green, and you see townsfolk sort of tending to chores or running errands at shops. Most people or a lot of the people look at you as you look up at you as you enter, but they kind of just return to business as you go by. So it's been 3 hours since you've woken. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And Sildar kind of looks to you guys and says, look, I really need to find Ian, my friend Ian the wizard. Like, I need to maybe see if he's got anything to do with these skeletons we've bumped into, and look, I'll find him. I'll get the money that I promised you so I could pay you guys since you got me here. And I'll see you around, I guess. Thanks. Thank you very much. That's cool. And Sildar just kind of like walks off into the city. And
I reach out to grab his shoulder as he does.
Oh yeah. Roll. No, I'm not going to get a roll.
Oh, dear friend. I'm sure you wouldn't survive very long without protection.
This is Phandelver, my good man. Look at all the friendly faces around us. I mean, I just need to. What are you implying? Is this bribery?
It's certainly not bribery. I'm just saying that you've seemed to have a talent for attracting problems, and we have a talent for solving them. So perhaps we venture into the town square together.
I mean, we seem to be going in the same direction at the moment. I guess it would have been weird to say goodbye and wish you well and then awkwardly walk together in the same... Yeah, okay, let's just keep going.
I mean, we would have had that thing, right, where you say goodbye to somebody and then you both have to walk in the same direction for a bit.
And it's like, you're going this way, I'm going that way. Yeah, I know what you mean. Look, let's just keep going, and I'll let you know when we're going in a different direction. How about that one?
I might have even asked you which way you were going so that we could work out which way we would go.
Yeah.
No one wants that.
No, I mean, I definitely don't. That would just be awkward as hell, so... Yeah.
Frankly, this conversation is getting awkward as hell.
I agree, but I mean, if you want to help me find Ian, I mean, is that what you're here for? I mean, that was why I was here, but I thought you had things to do.
Well, we're new to Phandelver, and seeing as how you seem to know it, I think you may be of help to us as we have been of help to you.
I don't know who you've been talking to, my man. This is my first time here. Ian came 2 months ago, and now I'm here. He was meant to set things up, and he wouldn't pick somewhere dodgy. I don't know. Look, where do you want to go? I'm quite happy for you to tag along if you're lonely, I guess. But yeah.
I'd like to meet Ian.
Oh, Ian. Oh, he's a good man, that one. The black-bearded son of a bitch. Oh, I love that man.
All right.
You at least have a contact in this town. That's more than what we have. So it may be mutually beneficial is what I'm saying.
Sure. I mean, I just don't want to railroad, what you guys are doing. So, I mean, why don't we... Where do you guys want to go? And I'll follow, and maybe Ian's there. This is getting complicated. I was just trying to find my friend.
Do you forget that you've implied that he may have created those walking abominations? think it's more than our business to come and see the fellow.
Oh, you don't know Ian like I know Ian. Come on. He's a good man. A good
Mr. Sildar,
wizard man.
please, shut your mouth hole. Start walking towards the Ian, and we'll follow.
But I don't
Okay?
know where Ian
Yup.
is.
Loris is just
Come
going
along.
to shove Sildar forward to get him moving because he just talks too much. Just a
That's what I
gentle
thought.
shove in your back move because you just
I
talk
head
too
towards
much.
the town square.
I mean, we can head there. It's good a place as any.
Yell out Ian as you go.
Okay. All right. So are we all walking towards the town centre? Yeah.
Yeah,
All
if Sildar continues to dilly-dally and just chat, Loris is literally just going to grab him by the scruff of the neck and kind of move him forward.
Okay.
Because he's kind of tired of his talk. It's just like, move, you silly old fool.
Yeah.
Zig would be hard-pressed not to pause at the smithy on the way through and see if they have any Cragnolian armor.
By all means, if you'd like to stop off at the smithy, you're welcome to go there.
Yes, I myself would like to seek some provisions. When there's time.
All right. I mean, like, okay. All right. Oh, what? So we're just going to piss around at a smithy? Look, I've got Ian's to find. Look.
You shut.
Look, if you're going to stare looking at the smithy, look, I really have pressing things to do. Look, how about we meet back at the tavern tonight, and I'll introduce you to Ian, and we'll have a great time. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. I'm keen to get away from your chattering nonsense. Sick of join you in the smithy.
Indeed. And while you're gone, you can return my short bow, crossbow thing, because you were piss useless with it.
I mean, you're not wrong. He kind of gladly hands that back. He really didn't have much use for it anyway.
Next time someone gives you a gift, if you're not going to use it, just tell them.
Re-gift it.
So, I suspect this Sildar chap is more of an old chatterer than an actual fighter. I wouldn't waste your time giving him any more weapons.
Too much before
Baron,
you
shush.
have his amazing wizard friend.
Yeah.
I think
Amazing.
we're all keen to meet Ian.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I think we all just need a little space from Sildar right now.
I think you guys need another sleep or something. You guys are getting cranky. Nap time, is it? And he hands the crossbow back to Sig.
I'm loath to hit an old man, but if he doesn't show up, he's going to get a very sore head.
And he sort of heads further into the town centre ahead of you, calling as he goes, "Ian, old boy, where the hell are you?" As he walks off into the town centre and out of view.
Yeah, Loris is just going to follow him, but I just want to keep him inside. So I'm no interest in going to the smithy or anything like that. I just want to follow the old man, but I want to keep a distance because his voice annoys me. So I'm just gonna follow him so I can keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Because I just have a feeling he's going to get into some trouble.
Okay.
And yeah, he seems to talk himself into more trouble than he talks out of it. So
all right. Well, let's see what everybody's doing at the moment, because I feel like we're getting to that point where we're splitting the team up again. Yeah, is that what we're doing?
I'm surprised that everyone was so mean and rude to Dildar. It's not the sort of...
He was Sildar.
I think it's Dildar.
Yeah, it's Dildar who told us.
Yeah.
And where I come from, people have manners, even if they are dottery old men.
Yeah. And he's definitely a dottery old man. All right. So, where would everyone like to go?
I will. Oh,
Sig and American would like to stop off at the smithy.
Okay.
and I would also like to use my knowledge of druidic language to see if there have been any messages left by other druids in and around the environment.
Oh, okay. Do you have like what do you roll to check that out? Is it like a perception? What does your business say for that?
I don't know. Possibly survival, possibly perception.
It'd be the same as finding a thieves' cant.
Yeah. Just give me a perception roll, and what we'll do is we'll use this roll. Okay, it's a 10. We'll use this roll for your sort of like the rest of the day. That is kind of actually what's your passive perception? We'll use your passive perception is probably higher than that. It's 14 or something, is it?
Probably.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
go.
you, Sig.
We'll go with that. We'll go with your 14. So for the rest of the day, you've kind of got you're keeping an eye out, and your results will be based on that roll. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So we've got 2 people looking to go to the smithy. Loris, you were just sort of following Silda.
Mm-hmm.
The Baron, what were you up to?
I think I'll hang around with Gil.
Okay, Gil, whereabouts are you?
I'm gonna keep an eye on Loros.
Okay, so 3 of you are you sort of hanging back from Loris, or?
Yes.
All right, so we've got Sildar sort of sneaking off into the town centre. We've got Loris kind of following at a bit of a distance, and then we've got Gil and the Baron following Loris at a bit of a distance.
It's almost comedic. Like, seriously.
Yeah. All right, we'll deal with the smithy first. So as you guys kind of sort of head into the smithies, you can see that there's just like a big, brawly guy sort of hard at work, sort of making what looks like a sort of a little short sword, and he's sort of clanging away. He hasn't noticed you guys yet, but you can see that there's some sort of just like, it looks like the majority of the stuff he makes is kind of like pickaxes and sort of things that might go, and spades and things like that, things that you'd expect to see in a mining town. What would you like to do, Sig?
Sig approaches. Excuse me, Mr. Smith. How go you with weapons of war?
I don't have a. I'm just gonna put this thing up. He's like, well, I don't have much in the way of war. I've got this. And he holds up the glowing red short sword that he's been hammering, and he plunges it down into a thing of cold water next to him as the steam sort of hisses and bubbles.
Sig uses his knowledge of weapons to compare against his current short sword to see if it's better or not as goodery.
That's not her. That looks pretty similar to the ones that I make, good man. But alas, any I do make end up in the hands of them.
Indeed, who are you talking about, sir?
Them, and he points towards sort of like there's a pathway heading sort of like, where is he? He's just kind of pointing off to the east. He's just pointing off to the east. He's like them, and he doesn't really say much about them, and he sort of just spits down onto the ground. Anything I make, they take.
I've got a throat problem too. The spitting does help a bit. I understand. What about armor? That short sword's okay, but more ammo would be sweet.
I don't know where you think you are, man, but this is Phandelver. It's a mining town. This is just mining gear. Like, yeah, I mean, if you've got some sort of plans, maybe I can take a look, but maybe you'd like this pickaxe. And he holds up this beautiful pickaxe.
Indeed, this is fine craftsmanship, sir. How many coins would this cost me?
Well, considering what you'd get out of the mine with this, 40 gold.
40. 40.
Correct.
14.
Think of all the things you'll get out of the mine with this. You'll be rich in no time, and 40 is just a mere pittance of the career you'll make as a miner. Look at the muscle on you.
I'd sooner smack someone with it. How about I give you 25?
And he just laughs. There's a raucous laughter coming from him. And he pulls the sword back out of the water and sort of puts it up against the wall. He's just kind of he's still just laughing. 40 is nothing compared to what I usually sell this for.
Very good, sir. Make your profit another day. American, do you want to talk to this man with the arithmetic problem?
No.
Yeah, I mean it's plain to see that all of his shelves are stocked with mining gear. He repeats sort of once more. Look, if you can bring me any sort of plans, I'll make something for you. But you know, it'll be time, it'll be money. It's not an easy job.
Indeed, sir.
Yes, I understand this, sir. Now tell me more about these creatures that are taking your weapons. They seem concerning.
Ah, the ruffians. Yeah, don't worry about them. They try to keep to themselves for the most part, but look, if you see any red-coated sons of bitches, just leave them be.
What are they up to?
What aren't they up to? They basically run this place. I mean, the mayor, and he kind of like uses quotation marks for that one. I mean, he'll have you believe other things, but those ruffians really are the ones that run this place. Just keep your distance.
Thank you for your advice, good sir. Sig, shall we go?
One last thing, Mr. Smith. The last notes I've had of smithery refers to use of oil, not water. Are you a fool as well as a meth wizard?
You think oil? You think oil is something to be played with? We're carbon zero here, buddy.
Indeed. One of the many problems at this place, no doubt. Good day, sir.
As they walk out, American leans over to Sig and goes, "You know, I have come to appreciate your honest nature."
Thank you, American. You have very good minds, but there's only one of them, so mine would be fine.
Very good. I would like to suggest that we head to find some provisions. I would love to get my hands on a medicine kit.
Okay.
Perhaps some potions. We do seem to be nearly dying quite a lot.
Yeah, across the way is a small provision store, but we'll jump over to Loris and see what he's doing.
What's Silda doing?
Silda's just kind of heading further south.
Okay, so I'm still just lumbering along a little behind him, and I'm wondering, do I notice Gil and the Baron follow me? How closely are they actually following me?
I'm going to need a Gil, are you trying to be stealthy or?
I'm just trying to stay back in the crowd and just make sure that Loros doesn't get us into trouble.
What I'll get, Loris, I'll get a Loris. I'll get a perception roll from you, and I'll get a stealth roll from Gil and the Baron.
All right. Here's my
Just so I
roll.
can compare.
I roll a 14.
Okay.
Oh, what'd you get?
Gil rolled an 8.
All right. So
And
I got
he rolled a 7. Oh god.
yeah, like you kind of feel, you kind of look back to see what the rest of the crew are up, and you can see Gil and sort of Baron following behind. They're kind of keeping their distance. They don't look like they're following you, but they're heading in the same direction as you. You know, you can't really tell you can't tell what their intent is. You can just tell that they're going in the same direction as you.
So remembering that I'm supposed to be protecting Gil, I beckon for him to come to my side, so I can look after him and keep an eye on the old man. Baron, I'm not so interested about. He can do what the fuck he likes.
Cool.
Damn right.
So you guys have kind of entered or you're passing by the town center there, and you can sort of see on your right, like a small shrine that's made out of stones, just on your right hand side. as you're passing through. There's kind of a big open area as well, with just a few really nice sort of, from the looks of things, the houses here are a little more modern than elsewhere. And there's a path heading south out of the town centre where Sildar is kind of walking, and you can just sort of hear off in the distance Sildar's. Eno! He's got to be around here somewhere.
What's the old man doing, Laros?
I'm not sure. I think he's still calling and searching for his friend Ian. I'm worried he's going to annoy people with his calling and just general disturbance. So I would rather he didn't draw attention to ourselves.
Yeah,
Shall we trust in his instructions and head back and meet him at the inn later?
I can't trust him. I don't trust him at all. I fear that he's going to walk us into death.
While you guys are talking, he kind of rounds the corner and is sort of heading east and sort of goes out of... he's just heading east. He's just kind of out of view at the moment while you guys are talking in the town centre.
He's heading east.
How far down are we now? Could you ping on the map for us?
What's that? So where you guys are right now?
We're here
you guys
by
are,
the Shrine of Luck.
Yeah.
Oh, and where's Dildar?
Sildar has just... No, he's over here. He's gone south and he's just turned around this corner here.
Sorry.
Below the town.
Below the town master's hall.
It may not be worth our while to pursue at this point.
With a sigh. Seeing I am still under your employ, Sir Gil, I will heed your suggestion and follow your lead. But I will make it known that I do not trust this Sildar crazy old man. I suspect he is going to lead us into some sort of danger with his rambling and wanderings.
Possibly. I've been meaning to talk to you about your employment situation.
Now's as good a time as any.
I'd prefer that we sat down in an inn, but it seems it's fair to discuss it here. So I feel as though any debt owed to me is well being paid. In fact, I'd like to provide you some gold for your services. The job that you signed up for was not to enter the cave of goblins, so please take these 30 gold coins as additional compensation. Consider your debt cleared, and you are free to do as you wish. I hope that you'll continue journeying with us, but it's entirely your choice.
Thank you for your kind donation to my pocket. I will need. I suggest we have a few beers and ales at the inn, and we can discuss our future travels. I need to understand more what our plan is going forward, given really all I cared about was getting you to the mines to secure some kind of dowry for your future bride.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting the number of goblins we encountered. So it seems only fair that you are fairly compensated.
As you guys are talking, there's a small child within the town centre that kind of notices you guys and comes running up to you guys. Adventurers! Oh, adventurers, everybody, it's adventurers! He yells to all the children around. The children swarm.
Why, hello, young man.
and he's transfixed by both of you, the muscular barbarian and the look of this half elf bard. Whoa.
Spoilers.
Forget you saw anything. Adventurers. Look at all your cool stuff. Is it just you two? Oh, you guys are amazing.
Well, it's not just us. I'm sure there are many more adventurers in the world, but tell me, young man, where might a bard play a tune in this here town?
Oh, you're a bard. Oh,
He is.
Oh, I've never seen a bard here in Phandelver. There's a big inn right behind you. And, adventurers. You know what? I've got an adventure too. There's an adventure. I've got a secret. And he
Morris is just going to pick him up and turn him around, like literally pick him up by the scruff of his neck and face him away and just kind of bump him out of the way, just gently. He doesn't want to hurt him. He just wants to tap the little child on his way. He's not good with children.
And then bring down the axe.
He's so rude to these children.
But
He cleaves the child hit.
with that, he sort of like, you guys just...
American, that would be bloodthirsty. It would be way too bloodthirsty. And Loris is not bloodthirsty.
You guys have just made his day, and he's skipping off back to his friends, saying, and all you can hear is him saying, "Adventurers, they're here in Phandelver. They're
That's fine, as
here."
long as he's away from me, I don't care.
Yeah. And he sort of disappears with his little friends around out of the town centre and away. But he has informed you, obviously, of the big inn, basically right behind you guys.
Awesome. Let's go to the inn and talk.
Agreed.
Okay.
And plan for our travels and whatever the old man brings our way.
Okay, great. Now, let's go back to Sig and American for a bit. You guys were heading toward... You wanted to get some provisions, is that right? So there is, just across the road and to the left from the smithy is a nice little signed building by the name of Barthen's Provisions. You're welcome to head in if you'd like.
Yes, I would like to.
Okay, as you Sig, are you going along with American as well?
Sig will follow American.
Okay, and as you enter, there's sort of like a little makeshift bit of wood that kind of stretches and then slaps back down to announce that you've opened the door. And you hear a greeting from within the store. "Welcome to my provision store. I am Barthen. How may I serve you?"
Greetings, Barthen. I would like to ask, do you have any herbalism kits or potions?
My, you're very specific. Let me take a look. I've got everything on my shelves organized in alphabetical order, and it makes it very easy for me to see exactly what I've got. Now, herbalism kit, is that what you're after?
Yes.
While the man is looking for stuff, Sig's going to pick up his shoe and tip out some mining dust from the shoe. He's like, "Oh, this must be a mining town. My shoes are getting so dirty. Are you having this problem, American?"
You must have quite a heavy tread. I'm not having such problems.
Hammer? Healer's kit? There's a holy symbol here. Holy... Healers? Was it a healer's kit you were after, or was it herbalism? Herbalism. I should have one here between the healer's kit and this selection of holy symbols, but let me take a look. And he disappears out the back, as it doesn't seem to be on his list, but he knows he's got one somewhere.
Well, I won't be doing anything untoward to take advantage.
Okay.
I shall wait for his return.
And return I shall, with my... Look, someone... I think I hadn't... someone in here ordered one a little while ago. They were meant to come pick it up, but it seems they just kind of... they never showed. I would be happy to sell this to you for a crisp 5 gold pieces.
A fair deal, I should say.
All right. Well, he's pretty happy about that. He thought it was. He didn't think it was going to go. So he. Would you like this wrapped?
No thanks, that should be fine.
All right. So he kind of puts the herbalism kit on the counter, and his little bony little hand reaches out. He's like, "Yes, give Barthen your gold."
I hand over the gold.
Thank
Now, do you have any potions?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Potions, you say? Well, that's quite a specific thing. Unfortunately, it's not something we see too much of around here. I've got poison, but that's very expensive. I've got a pole, a pot, and I've got a pouch. But it doesn't.
Have you got any oil, shopman?
Oh, you have come to the right place. The smithy may throw his nose to the air on oil, but me, I'll gladly see the world burn. So, oil for a flask of oil. 1 silver piece for a flask of my finest oil.
How many flasks have you got?
I hadn't really counted. Like, there. Let's have a look. I mean,
All right. Shut.
oh, well, look at
One
that.
gold piece for you. You give me the oil, and we're done. See?
You say 1 gold piece?
Yes.
Sig, you're overpaying.
I'm buying all the man's oil. I don't want to talk to him any longer than I have to.
And he hands over the 5 small flasks of oil that he has. But he gladly takes that gold piece, even though he knows you've definitely overpaid.
Well, do you have anything else that you think could be of use to us? What else do you have around here?
I don't even know you. I've got a barrel. Do you like barrels?
No.
I've got this book. It's just a book.
Does it have any writing in it?
Yeah, it's a book. I mean, it's got a...
What's the book about?
It's a story about... I haven't read it. It says on the front, the halfling and the orc. I don't know. It's probably a story about the halfling and an orc.
Saucy.
Well, I was hoping it was a spell book, but that sounds very banal indeed.
Maybe. And he reaches under the counter. He's like... And he pulls out just like this really average hammer. Maybe you'd like this hammer. I'm saying I don't know what you're... Like, who are you? I don't know what you'd like.
Anything that would suit a traveller?
Oh boy, do I have something for a traveller! And he just pulls out some soap.
How much for the soap? I take great pride in my cleanliness.
2 copper pieces.
Deal.
Ah, a lady with fine taste. I'll throw one in. And
Thank you.
He hands you two small bars of soap, but asks only 2 copper pieces for the lot.
Fantastic. Seems like if you treat them nicely, you get somewhere sometimes.
He'd be terrible in battle. He would die quickly. Let's go.
So, wait, one moment. Do you think those holy symbols would be of any use in battle?
You could throw one, perhaps.
How much for the holy symbols?
These symbols are 5 gold apiece. I mean, I don't know what you'd need it. Maybe you need it to cast. I don't know. Are you a spell caster? Is something that you need a holy symbol for? I've got this amulet. I've got this interesting emblem, and I don't know what a reliquary is, but I've got one of them. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. This reliquary.
Well, this fellow sure has a lot of things, but I think we might be done here. I don't have 5.
Wait a minute.
5 gold coins.
Hold on. I haven't shown you my prime asset. This ink pen. What do you think? It's pretty cool.
What is with this town? These people are so freaking annoying.
He is hungry for sale. He just needs to get some sales.
I'm feeling his
I
vibe.
think he's just hungry for talking.
I want that pen. I'm one for travel souvenirs. How much for the pen? I'll give you 1 copper piece.
Oh, you drive a hard bargain.
Yes.
Make it 2 and it's yours. Because
I'm
that's
sure
its
I've already
price. Its
overpaid
price
this
is
idiot.
2 copper pieces.
Yeah, Sig already overpaid you for all that oil. I think you're just trying to squeeze me a little bit here, and I don't appreciate that.
He's lucky I sold it to him at all with the attitude that man has.
Did you talk to me?
He's lucky I don't get
Did
the
you?
red brands in here.
What's that?
Who did you say?
Surely you've heard of the red brands?
No.
Is that a meat?
If you'd like, I could bring them in.
What
I
is
don't
it?
like his tone. Give me the pen.
2 copper pieces.
All right, here are your pieces. Shall we? I've had enough. Sig, shall we go?
You I
Yes,
have
Sig,
no problem with, but can you please leave with your brute of a man?
As Sig walks out, he'll take the book. Thank you for the read.
Oh,
Good
okay.
day, sir. Good day.
Okay. As you guys walk out, the shop, Barthen follows behind, and as he reaches outside, he screams,
They stole my book.
"Thief! Thief! These newcomers are stealing from me! Thieves! Somebody stop them!"
Oh,
Sig
sick.
immediately returns back, grabs the book, donks it on his head. I paid 5 gold, fool. This is mine.
And he's freaking out now. You'll have no sympathy from me, thieves! Thieves! Call the red brands! I need services! And he sort of takes a step back into his house, but you can see that into his little provision stock. But you can see that you've definitely drawn the attention from a lot of the population within this place. Who they don't know you. They already see a bit of a menacing form, and they're only assuming that you're here to take advantage of Phandelver. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Sig is going to flick through the book, see if there's any pictures. Is there any pictures?
It's a novelization about a small halfling and his orc friend.
And with that, he'll throw it at the back of his head. Keep it then.
American turns to Sig and says, "That pathetic little poltroon is trying to stir up trouble. You know, I thought he was all right when he gave me that soap, but we need to get out of here."
Agreed. Irritation.
Shall we just duck into a nearby alley while the situation cools down? He's making a scene.
I admit I am curious what this red coat thing is.
Sounds like bad news to me.
I'll follow your lead. You have a good mind thing.
Good mind thing.
All right, we're going to duck into this alley and just try to keep out of sight for a little bit.
Okay. We'll go back to Loris, the Baron, and Gil for a moment.
I'd like to check out this Shrine of Luck. What does that look like?
Yeah, okay. Let's bring up some details. As I mentioned before, it's a small shrine that's kind of made of small stones. Let's see if there's any further information I can give you. Yeah, it looks like it's basically being built up of the stones taken from some of the ruins that sort of surround Phandelver.
So it's not so lucky if they're ruins.
Historic.
Yeah, the historic ruins. So basically, the way that the town was dealt with a few years back, they've taken some of these stones to create this shrine, and it's got kind of scrawled in ink across the top of the shrine, just the word Timora.
Timora.
Yeah, Tymora, Tymora.
Horseshoe.
Yeah.
I studied history in school.
Okay, well, give me a history check.
Okay. I'll open up my character sheet. Oh shoot. In history. What do they do?
You vaguely recognize that you're looking at letters.
What's that?
What was the roll?
It was a crit fail, so he's.
Is it though? Because it says a 5, or is that an old roll?
I see a 1 there.
It's a
that's-
1 plus 5. So it's
Scroll
a
down a
6.
bit. Scroll down in the chat. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you've rolled a 1, so you can see.
Does that mean you?
What was
Does that mean he wrecks the shrine with his hands as he's busy fondling it with his trying to?
Fondling and fandling.
No, he's checking his memory for it, and for a half a moment, everything in his mind goes blank. He can't remember anything for like 10 seconds.
History? There's things that happened before.
This is so you don't recognize anything in regards to the shrine.
Well, it's beautiful.
It does look like it's been tended to recently, but that's all you can really tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll step forward and say it's beautiful, isn't it? Story and song and stone.
But a mystery.
I wonder what secrets this holds.
No one knows, I'm sure. No one could possibly know such an enigma.
Is there like what is the? Is it like a fountain or is it just a stone shrine with
It's just a
thing in the middle?
A stone shrine. The top stone has Tymora written on it. It looks like there's been some plants, sort of or flowers laid on it recently, but that's
okay.
It's kind of it at the
One
moment.
day,
So like,
See if I can recall the name Timora.
Yeah, sure. Give me a. There'd be a
would it not be a religion check
Yeah,
if it's a shrine?
with a 16.
16 for history.
With a 16, Gil kind of thinks back to his time when he kind of was more into the reading, and he remembers Tymora as a goddess of luck and good fortune. Obviously, this has been built. You kind of piece together that this was obviously built from the ruins to sort of in an effort of bringing good luck and good fortune to Phandelver after the destruction and war that it once had.
It would appear that they're trying to bring the destruction full circle and use that energy to build anew.
I was suitably impressed by your history knowledge here. Because
Timora, if you would recall, Baron, is the goddess of luck and fortune.
is that right?
Me too.
I've never heard of it.
I say with the utmost confidence.
So Gil, how do we gain some of this luck? I feel like we could do with some luck in our future adventures.
I think for you, the best thing is to rub your forehead on the centermost piece of the shrine. Not too.
I've got no reason. I have no reason to disbelieve what I'm being told. So I will kneel in front of the shrine and press my forehead up against the center of the shrine. And did you say rub?
Yes, rub your
And I will
forehead.
rock my head gently, so it's rubbing slightly against, so kind of in a rhythmical way.
I'd
And
like
I'll
to
do this.
what the townsfolk think of this ritual.
Roll for rub.
The people that are around are kind of looking at you quite questionably. They're not certain why you're doing it. But can you give me a D20?
Just a random D20.
Just a random D20.
Just a random D20. Sure, why not? These always go well.
Roll for Noggin Robin.
Noggin, it's a 19.
Okay.
Thank goodness for that.
With a roll of 19, any checks, any ability checks you make within Phandelver are going to have a +2.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, my little friend Gil, you're awesome.
Now, the characters don't know this, okay? But Dave, you know this, all right? So there's no
Okay.
reason for anyone else to understand or realize that you've had this boost. You've just rubbed it. You feel no different. You stand up, but any ability checks within Phandelver's walls will have a +2.
Do you feel Time Water's blessing?
I must admit, I do feel a little bit more lucky.
Yeah, and there are just some people around just sort of laughing at the at seeing a giant barbarian sort of rubbing his head across the stones. They're thankful you haven't damaged it, but they're just kind of laughing at what you've done.
Nice. So I get myself up. I brush off my knees and hands, and give Gil a bit of a nudge, sort of thanking him, and then shall we head to the tavern now? I'm kind of peckish.
Yes. Pardon?
Yeah, sure. We're coming back here tonight. When is Dildar coming back? At night time or in the morning? Or lunchtime.
He said he would arrive here once he finds Ian.
Okay.
I have a feeling he is not finding Ian. He is going to end up dead, but such is life.
I don't know. Capable guy. Oh, let's go get some brunch or something.
Yeah. All right. So you guys sort of enter into this. It looks newly built as well. This is one of the sort of. It's obviously not one of the relics of the past. It's clear that obviously the last tavern or in this place would have crumbled to the ground, and this is quite new. As you walk in, though, we'll sort of disappear back to Sig and Murikin, who have noticed that the people that were alerted from Barthen have just kind of rolled their eyes and gone back to it. It's kind of expected from Barthen. They're used to him like raising the prices and sort of screwing people out of stuff. They're just glad it's not them for a change.
American turns to Sig and says, "What a shrill little weasel he was." Well, where to next?
I hate him.
I'm beginning to like you. I agree with your point of view often.
Where to next?
Yes. Well, I don't know about what was he saying? Red coats or seems to be some kind of problem with red-based problems around here. Some kind of militia, perhaps, or
Always the redcoats that are trouble.
If you're willing, American, I'd like to check out the north wall, just north of Barthen's provisions. It seems to surround the town. I'd like to see and make notes in my sweet little book. Me being a war scholar and all, I'd be remiss to not record the town's once ancient defenses.
sounds good to me. I could do with a nice relaxing walk and maybe having a nosy along the way.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are you trying to do in regards to just trying to understand the?
I would like to see if I can overhear any nosy business from the townsfolk and just have a look around the environment as I do so.
Yeah. Sure. What about say you're up there? I do have something for you. I think there's kind of there's an old farmer sort of standing on the outskirts of town talking to I guess maybe an apprentice or a sort of a farmhand, and there's you can sort of overhear him saying something about Sister Garael, someone who oversees the Shrine of Luck, how she recently left the town for a few days and returned wounded and exhausted. But that's all you can really pick up. Sig, what are you sort of wanting to do in regards to this wall?
So Sig would like to sketch the wall in his book.
Okay.
He wouldn't have noticed the people talking.
No, okay.
And just estimating what the wall would have looked like at the time it was built and assess the town's overall defensibility.
It doesn't look like the town was really that well sort of fortified. It was enough to keep kind of the wilderness out. They really weren't expecting much of a fight when the orcs came through. Yeah, and it's all just rubble, and whatever's left is maybe a meter to a meter and a half in height. That's kind of the extent of what is left standing. But there are just big chunks of missing pieces, rubble on both sides of what's standing.
Sig will enjoy sketching it in his book.
Nice.
So American says, by the way, Sig, I think that was quite a brilliant move buying that oil, but what did you plan to use it for? Because I think it could be quite good if I were to, say, ignite someone. It might make the situation even more enlightening.
I'm now wondering what sort of oil I bought. I was mainly using it for lubricant, in the armpit factor here and behind the knee. Oh, this knee here, actually. You need to keep your mail clean.
Well, keep it in mind if you ever want me to light someone on fire.
It's definitely a flammable oil that you've purchased.
Sig sniffs the oil and decides he wouldn't rub it all over his armor in any case.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do before we get back to the crew within the tavern?
Can I ask the DM a technical question?
Please.
I have just procured a herbalism kit, and I would like to know, how do I make potions and such?
That is probably a good...
Putting it in the chat thingy. Oh, I just rolled for it. I don't even know how
and
that
it was a
works.
good roll. You made herbs.
But I can make potions from it, but...
Yeah. I think we're basically at the end of tonight's session, so what we'll do is we'll have a chat about that leading into the next session. That's probably the best thing. But yes, it will mean that you can make potions of some sort.
Sounds good.
But I believe we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. So yeah, did we want to do anything before we go back to the other guys, or
I'm happy to head to the tavern.
you guys are willing to head there as well? Okay. Cool.
Yes, I've finished my sketch.
Okay,
let's go, American.
It's beautiful.
You guys basically head south and arrive just as the other three are leaving sort of the shrine and heading towards the tavern. As you step into the tavern, you've got the sound. It's about the lunch rush is happening. There's people drinking. A lot of the tables are full. And there's a man behind the counter pouring beer and ale and rum and everything that you could possibly want. And there's a barmaid making her way around serving the beer to patrons. But we'll find out more about what's going on in this tavern next week.